Hello, everyone, and welcome to Impact AI. I'm your host, John Hodges. Today's topic of uncovering the ROI of AI-powered data privacy management matters for businesses now more than ever. My guest today is Dr. Damodar Sahu, co-founder and chief growth officer at Data Safeguard Incorporated. Damodar has built his career at the intersection of digital transformation, AI innovation, and data privacy, advising enterprises on how to turn compliance into a true growth strategy. With decades of leadership experience driving technology adoption across industries, he's now helping organizations rethink privacy not as a cost, but as a source of measurable ROI and competitive advantage. Dr. Sahu, welcome to the show.
Thank you, John, for having me here. And rightly you said, we are actually touching upon very important topic, return on investment. Yeah.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
that to AI powered privacy management. Yeah. It's very pressing needs for these days because privacy matters. And we all know the data breaches are costing organizations, individuals like us, right? Because data breaches are leading to synthetic fraud, and synthetic frauds is leading to financial crime. So yeah, thank you for having me here, John.
You bet. Well, before we get into the details of ROI and privacy, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, share a little about your journey, and what inspired you to focus on AI-powered data privacy management and why, ROI was such a critical conversation today.
Yeah, great question, John. So my journey into AI powered privacy started with the realization that data is the most valuable asset for any organization. But without proper protection, it quickly becomes its bigger liability. Early in my career, I saw companies struggling with manual, reactive compliance, spreadsheets, endless audits, right? Firefighting after breaches. I'm talking about data breaches. It was inefficient and expensive. That inspired me to focus on AI because AI allows us to move from reactive compliance to proactive trust building. And return on investment or ROI is central because at the end of the day, every boardroom conversation is about value. If we can show that privacy is not just a cost, but a growth enabler, it completely changed the conversation.
It sure does. Many people think of privacy compliance as a cost center. Why do you believe it's actually a growth driver?
Absolutely. That is such an important mindset shift. Compliance might look like a cost center, but when you zoom out, privacy drives revenue. Let's say customers today buy trust as much as they buy products. If you can prove your customers that you safeguard data responsibly, you choose or you close deals faster, retain customers longer, even unlock new markets with stricter regulation. So, privacy is not just a shield against penalty, it's a growth lever. Companies that embrace it strategically see higher growth on customer acquisition, brand equity, as well as stronger customer loyalty.
I agree that it always is kind of what delays your decision is, do I trust? Do I trust? So,
Yeah.
in practical terms, how should organizations measure the ORI of data privacy management initiatives?
Another great question. There are tangible and measurable levers. For example, reduce compliance reporting costs when automation is applied, savings from fewer legal disputes or regulatory fines. Regulatory fines these days is not million, even billions. Faster response time to data subject access request. Then there is a revenue side, shorter sales cycle, more competitive bids, and even higher valuation where investors see strong privacy program. ROI is both cost save and revenue gain, John. Yeah.
Interesting. What does doing nothing cost a business in terms of risks and, breaches, fines, and damage, brand damage, stuff like that?
Yeah, the cost of inaction in is enormous. Today, data breaches cost average 4.5 million in direct
Wow,
cost. That means one data breach is costing on an average to enterprise 4.5 million US dollar. Then it adds reputational damage, customer churn, and regulatory fines. And the real impact is far higher. What does it? It is not just money. You also lose time, trust, and market credibility. Doing nothing is actually the most expensive strategy for all, right? So that's the cost of a database. Yeah.
very interesting. Beyond financial savings, beyond that, what non-monetary benefits do companies see when they invest in AI-driven privacy solutions?
The non-financial ROI is just as powerful, like brand trust and reputation. Employee morale. That means what? People are proud to work for an ethical company. Customer loyalty, which in turn creates lifetime value. If I trust a brand, I will be there for a long time. There are harder to quantify, but often drive the biggest competitive advantages. John, yeah.
I agree. So, on the role of AI and innovation, how does AI change the game in privacy management compared to traditional approaches?
Absolutely great question. Traditional privacy is manual, reactive, and siloed. AI flips that. So the AI I'm talking about is supervised learning or the ethical or responsible AI. With responsible and ethical AI, you can automatically discover sensitive data, detect risk before they become breaches, and continuously monitor compliance. It's a faster, more accurate, and scalable across global operations. Instead of adding more compliance staff, you can add intelligence that grows with your data.
Okay. Can you share a success story or maybe a case study where AI-powered privacy tools delivered measurable ROI?
Absolutely, there are many, but in our case, a global client implemented ID privacy. ID privacy is our most comprehensive AI powered data privacy management platform powered by our patented technology that is called CCE, Cognizable Computing Engine. That is
Mm.
our homegrown custom built AI engine. And within first year, they cut compliance reporting time by 70%. That, that means millions saved in audit and legal cost. But the bigger impact was commercial. They own contracts faster because customers trusted that brand and their privacy posture. So the ROI was both efficient as well as revenue growth.
Wow. So how can AI products like ID privacy, which is powered by your CCE, transform compliance into a market differentiator?
Yeah, thank you for asking this. So ID privacy is our platform, again powered by AI, again patented AI technology, CCE. It consists of 7 different products under ID privacy, starting with universal consent management, confidential data discovery, privacy impact assessment, even data privacy impact assessment, process privacy impact assessment, third-party vendor privacy impact assessment. Then once you discover the confidential data, then it can be PII, your personally identify information. It can be protected health information. It can be finance information, both sensitive, non-sensitive. Then you can redact those information, right? And once you redact, after that, if data breach happens, those data will be of no use to the fraudster. Then the Ds are data subject access request, compliance audit, all put together, then data privacy management. When you say to a customer that our privacy program is AI driven, and that too responsible and ethical AI driven, and it continuously monitor and certify that you are not just compliant, you are differentiated. It turns compliance into a badge of trust, right? And in competitive market, trust is often the deciding factor. We all know that, John.
Wow, that's quite effective.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about challenges and maybe some misconceptions. What are the most common mistakes organizations make when trying to implement privacy management programs?
Yeah, great one. So as per my experience, I can name a couple of maybe one. Treating privacy as a one-time project rather than ongoing program. So privacy should be a continuous process. It's not a one-time. It's not the end journey or end state.
Right.
Second, understanding the change management. Privacy is a culture. It's not just technical, right? We all know that privacy matters. So it should be a culture or it should be part of the entire organization, not just technical. And three, trying to bolt on compliance instead of embedding into the process and products from the day one, right? So if you can add all those like ongoing and privacy to be culture, it should not be on board but should be embedded into the process of the organization, then I think that organization will go for a long way.
Well said. How do you respond to executives who view privacy investments as a necessary evil rather than a growth opportunity?
I always advise or remind the CXOs or C-suite executive that privacy is like a oxygen. You don't always notice it when it is there, but the moment it is gone, survival is impossible.
Right.
So privacy is not a necessary evil, but it's a necessary advantage. With AI, you can prove the numbers, showing how privacy reduces cost, accelerate revenue, and build trust among your consumers.
Excellent. Yes. What, so as far as the future, what emerging trends in AI and privacy management will define ROI in the next, oh, I don't know, 3 to 5 years? What do you say?
Yeah, great question, John. So I see there is a big shift happening or will happen. AI-driven real-time compliance monitoring, that is one. Growth of privacy-enhancing technologies like synthetic data, differential privacy, etc. And third, the integration of privacy into ESG and investors reporting, right? Making it a core business KPI. So privacy will move from legal checklist to a broad level strategy in future.
Wow, interesting. Well, for leaders listening today, what's the first actionable step they should take to start uncovering this ROI in their privacy programs?
Great question, John. Once again, I always suggest start small, but start now. Don't delay. Map your data flows, identify high risk areas, and pilot an AI powered privacy solutions. Then reframe the conversation with your board from cost avoidance to value creation. Privacy is not just about compliance, it's about future proofing your business. The ROI of privacy is very simple: trust on, risk reduce, and growth unlock.
Yes, absolutely. But whatever you do, don't do nothing, right?
Yeah.
Well, this has been a wonderful conversation, Dr. Sayu. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your insights. I think what really stands out from your conversation is that privacy doesn't have to live in the shadows as a
Absolutely.
compliance
Yeah,
checkbox. When it's done right, it can actually drive growth, build trust, and even create advantages.
absolutely.
So thank you again for joining us. And for those of our listeners that want to research and find out more about you, where do you recommend they go?
Yeah, let them. come to LinkedIn. I'm very much available, and I daily post my point of view on privacy, why privacy matters. And just Google it, Dr. Damodar Sahu, you will find my name first. And also, Data Safeguard is my company where I co-founded along with our founders and co-founders, and www.datasafeguard.in. And I'm based in US. If you reach out to me and we can connect and we can talk about more on the privacy. And yeah, even also, thank you for John for having me here. Even also, I host LinkedIn Live almost every week. And please stay tuned and look at the different aspect of privacy we're talking and how you are creating a disruption in the market, supporting enterprises to safeguard your sensitive information and my sensitive information. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's been truly enlightening. And I also want to thank your team at Data Safeguard for pushing this important conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, this wraps up another wonderful episode of Impact AI. And until next time, we ask you to stay curious and keep making an impact.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, John.